Hello everyone, Cheppandi Chepputilsu Ledu Kadu guys. My name is Shubham Sagar and today is 25th November 2025. Very good. What else is good? What is my name guys? My name is Shubham Sagar. This is my LinkedIn snapshot. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Very good if you want to. This is my Telegram channel. I will share this into analysis PDF by evening today so that you can revise it once you have gone through this video. It will help you in retaining stuff in a much easier manner. Very good. Yesterday I gave you people two questions, right? African grey parrot, it was in news, really important. And via this article we also went to 5th November article which was related to Vantara Kantara. They are all brothers and sisters. Okay, so what is the answer of African grey parrot, guys? What is the correct answer? You can pause me right now and you can have a track. You can post it in the comment section how many you are getting correct, or you can keep a track yourself also how many you are getting correct. So they're not categorized as critically endangered, they're endangered. So second is wrong. If second is wrong, oh my god, what will happen? A is the answer. 1 and 3 only. Really, really, really good. Global South, you will hear about this term, like hear, oh my god, you will hear this term here, there, everywhere. Oh my god, why? Oh, so we should know the meaning of this particular term, Global South. Sorry guys, I don't know what I ate last night. So what is Global South? Obviously it is, countries mostly in the southern hemisphere, developing countries. So how come it will include industrialized Western Europe? Just eliminate third, you will get the answer A. So both the answers are A only. Oh my god, see the coincidence. MCQ 11A, MCQ 12A. Let's start the discussion, guys. Let's come back to the present and let's talk about the first article of the day, which is associated with gubernatorial discretion. So multiple article has been written on the Supreme Court judgment, which they have given, like on governor's discretionary power, how much discretion governor has or not. So this article or editorial is written by R. Mohan sir. Like we are childhood friends, R. Mohan and we. It may feel like he's elder than me, but he's not. We are of the same age. So R. Mohan sir, former officer of IRS, Indian Revenue Service, and gubernatorial. This is actually a very fancy word. Many of you who follow polity and who read polity, etc., you may already know this gubernatorial related to governor. That is the meaning of this word. So this is about governor's discretion, Article 200. And here, because this sir is so knowledgeable, obviously he's my chuddy buddy. So, like we are childhood friends. So he will talk about what was there in draft constitution. In draft constitution, they included this discretionary word or discretion word related to governor, but then they removed it. So R. Mohan sir is trying to say that, we should have limited discretion, even if, you are having some discretionary power for governor. And not only, it's about what draft constitutional makers or our constitutional makers were thinking. Even different commissions and committees have been set up. Sarkaria, Venkatchalya, Punchi commissions, they all say that governor's discretionary power should be lower. If president's discretionary power is so low, why are we giving so much discretionary power to governor? In a way, like many states, they feel like governors are agents of center. If you give them too much discretionary power, maybe that particular skepticism is not unfounded. So in India, questions have arisen over governor's power under Article 200. So remember Article 200, Article 143, guys. They are the two most important of our Indian constitution right now because they are in news also. So what was the core issue? Which was like Article 143 was invoked. Draupadi Murmu ma'am under presidential reference asked certain questions. So there were these questions. Does governor have discretionary power? How much is there a time limit when he has to act on bills? So now Supreme Court has backtracked on their previous opinion. Like they are saying that no, they have discretion. There is no mandatory time limit, but if they take too much time, judicial review is possible. So if there are certain bills which is pending with governor for 5 years or 7 years, I will show you. So in these scenarios, there is judicial review, which is possible. So yes, Supreme Court is saying that no, that 3-month timeline, etc., which was given, we are taking that back, and we cannot impose timeline because then that will be in a way, we are moving away from separation of power. Legislature, executive, and judiciary, they have to work in their own domain. So judicial review is possible, but there is a but. If they're taking too much time, then judicial review is possible. Obviously, you cannot sit on a bill for 5 to 7 years. It doesn't make any sense. If a return bill is repassed by legislature, he has to give assent as soon as possible. So keep these points in mind, and now you have to, these things mostly we know, right? But this particular point which I told you, draft constitution, there was this term in under Government of India Act 1935, which like many people believe that our constitution, almost 50% provision or more has been borrowed from 1935 Act. Now there is a main question which has been already asked on this. Why we borrowed so many provisions from Government of India Act 1935? The reason is, already multiple elections have happened under the provision of Government of India Act 1935. Central election, provincial elections, 1937, 44, 45. So we people were accustomed. Illiteracy was very high during 1947. So whatever was continuing, let's continue it. Why change it? You know, if something is working, why change it? And that was the logic why we adopted also most of the provision of Government of India Act 1935. Very good. In draft constitution, governor was given discretion. There was an explicit word discretion which was written, but Constituent Assembly removed these words, and that's why my chuddy buddy friend IRS officer, he's saying that maybe constitutional makers, they did not intend this discretionary power for governors under Article 200. So when they did not intend discretionary power for governors, why are we giving them discretionary powers and so much discretionary power? Court justification for implied discretion. What is implied discretion? Implied means it's not explicitly mentioned, but provisions of constitution implies that there is discretion. So this is implied discretion. Court argued discretion is needed to protect constitution if ministers give unconstitutional advice. First of all, you read about schedules, 12 schedules of Indian constitution, tears of old PM. There's a mnemonic I keep on telling you people, you keep on forgetting it. I will kill you all and eat you alive. Again, this is a dichotomy. This cannot happen. If I kill you all, how can I eat you alive? Because you're already dead. So I cannot eat you alive, I can eat you dead. So tears of old PM schedules, A is affirmation, oaths and affirmation. So they are saying that ministers take oath to uphold the constitution. Why would they advise unconstitutionally? The second rationale is, if they are giving you unconstitutional advice, they, supreme governor can keep those advice under Article 356 and refer to precedent. And then the third point is precedent also. Like, it's not like our cabinet ministers, PM, always they talk about something very constitutional. Maybe sometimes they do talk about certain unconstitutional stuff. In that scenario, president does not have discretionary power. So how come governor is different? उसमें ऐसा क्या है जो मुझ में नहीं? That means what is there in governor which is not there in president? Why governor has wider discretionary power than president? It doesn't feel good. President may get jealous of governor. Jealousy is not a good thing. In our time, there used to be Punjabi song. Jealousy, ज़्यादा हो गई सी, circle छोटा कर लिया जाए, something like that. That means, and this is actually a very interesting and good thought, guys. If your circle, jealousy is increasing in your circle, reduce your circle, guys. Don't have that many friends. That's what that song is saying. So to ensure president does not get jealous of governor and his discretionary power, we should reduce discretionary power. You should write this in exam. Just remember what we are discussing. Draft Constitutional Committee, they removed the word discretion. Sarkaria, Venkatchalya, Punchi, all commissions are saying that discretion should be very narrow under Article 200. They should not have wider discretionary power, because in that regard, and in that scenario rather, they will undermine the power of the state. None of the recommendations were none of these recommendations were implemented. And here my IRS officer Chadi Badi friend, he's saying that right now the parties, opposition parties, they will cry for all this and that, or ruling party, every party is same. When they will change, when different parties will rule, their attitude will change. So before that happens, make some laws, bring some constitutional amendment bill, limit the power of governors, because this particular Supreme Court judgment in fact has widened the power or widened the discretionary power of governors. Gubernatorial discretion, when different parties rule, friction increases, party criticize governor today, ignore earlier reforms. So there will be some parties which are there in different states or center. Earlier they were like, we want to implement it, now they don't want to implement it. It's all about who is in power, and then the friction happens. They keep on changing their stance. Issues, and this is not about party, guys. This is about undermining of state government and via wider discretionary power of governor. State approached the court due to long delays. These are happening. Some bills are pending for 5 to 7 years. This is a joke. And Karnataka has 74 bills pending at the president office at one time. So again, in that scenario, as Supreme Court has said in this judgment also, you have judicial review. If there is prolonged delay, if you go back here, the current Supreme Court judgment is saying that, as R. Mohan sir is saying, what they are saying, that judicial review is possible in case of prolonged, unexplained, indefinite delay. So maybe for 5-7 years bill, you can go to court and you can talk about why they are taking so much time. But there is a need for constitutional amendment cutting across means party lines. If you think from a neutral perspective, today, BJP, or let's say any other state party is in power in Tamil Nadu. Let's say some other time BJP comes and in center some other party comes, but that is not going to happen because our election commission is very neutral and we know it. But yeah, let's not go there. So commission, what we are trying to say is there has to be some time limit. If Sarkaria, Ponchi, Venkat Chalia Commission, draft constitutional committee, everybody is talking about limited discretionary power. In that regard, not all of them can be wrong at the same time, right? Some can be wrong at some time, but not all of them can be wrong at the, like, hope you are understanding. So given cooperative federalism, consensus could be built to amend Article 200 and introduce timelines. So maybe judiciary cannot do this, judiciary cannot set 3 months timeline, etc., because then they will be overriding. Making law is not the power of judiciary. Making law is the power of legislature. Judiciary will just check the constitutionality of laws and executive under judicial review provisions. So maybe legislature can come together and they can make a law. Parliament can come and they can make a law and they can amend or they can recommend time limit. Political parties switch role, a uniform rule will benefit all. Consequences of court advisory. So again, according to my IRS friend, they are saying that it is broadening the governor's discretionary power, and they have said there are certain actions which are not challengeable in court, blah blah blah. We have talked about this earlier. So this can lead to gubernatorial overreach. This is actually very cute word, guys. So to ensure that does not happen, Parliament has to come together and they have to impose a time limit. This is not the work of judiciary to make laws, it's the work of legislature to make law. Final question raised: without time limits and with increased non-justiciable discretion of governor, will this make functioning of state legislature smoother or conflict ridden? You people have to answer that question. This article has kept it open-ended, but we know the answer, right? Modi hai to mumkin hai. Supreme Court recent advisory opinion on Article 200 expands the scope of gubernatorial discretion, critically examine its implication for India's federal structure. When it is saying that critically, then you have to say that no, it is not expanding the scope of gubernatorial discretion, or no, you have judicial review. If they are sitting on a bill for a long period, even in this Supreme Court judgment, they are saying that you have judicial review. It's just that it's not Supreme Court work to post a timeline. If you want to post a timeline, if you want to make a law in that regard, you have Parliament, you have legislature who will make law. So again, first of all, you will talk about how it is expanding, how they are saying that judiciary is saying, in a way, Supreme Court is setting aside their previous judgment and they're saying that there is no time limit as such, and governors are not responsible for whatever action they are taking. There's another article, I think, related to that, article 263 something. You have to check that out. So you will talk about that, how it is expanding the scope, how in certain scenarios many people believe governors are acting as agents of center, and this whole Supreme Court judgment in fact would widen that particular belief or strengthen that particular belief. And then in the criticism part, you will say that no, Supreme Court is saying you have judicial review. If there is pendency of 4, 5 to 7 years, go to court, ask why this is happening. So again, in the intro part, you can talk about Article 200 as giving assent, withholding assent, returning bill for reconsideration, reserving bill for precedent, and it has generated tension. And then Supreme Court one means Article 143 presidential reference. What happened? What court held? Governor has discretion. There is no mandatory timeline. Judicial review permitted in the case of prolonged delays. Why this expands discretion? Constituent Assembly remove discretion from draft article we have discussed. Sarkaria Commission, they are also saying there should be very narrow discretion. But court's view is like implied discretion into the court is saying that there is via different provisions of constitution there is implied discretion. Article author IRS officer, former IRS officer, he's saying that Constituent Assembly they remove this discretion word. Sarkaria Venkat Chelia Punchi Commission, they are saying they should have narrow discretion. Why are you not looking into their arguments and why are you saying that there is implied discretion? Although it is not explicitly mentioned in constitution, but it is implied from the provision. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why they are expanding discretion. So you can talk about these. Again, in mains there is no correct or wrong answer, guys. You have your own perspective on this answer, but don't deviate too much. Implication for federalism, risk of political misuse, and many people believe governors are acting as agents of center, indirect central control may create, and this create more issues when different parties rule in center and state. Weaken state legislation. Counter arguments: governor must, again, this is also a good point which we did not talk enough, but we have talked once or twice. That sometimes ministers can give unconstitutional advice, or sometimes ministers are like, no, no, no. It happened in one state. I don't want to tell that state, where there was a CM and his very close minister. They tapped the phone of a girl, and there were many people who said that maybe CM, who is almost or more than twice the age of that girl, he liked that girl, and that's why phone tapping of that girl happened. It does not look constitutional, right? Whatever happened. And then later on, when it was caught on different cameras, they said that no, girl's parents, they asked for her, phone tapping and asked for her surveillance and all. So you can see one unconstitutional advice. I don't want to name that particular state. You can search it. You will get the answer. Judicial review remain available for extreme delay. So this is the counter argument. But then the other counter argument is you don't give this power to president. Even Council of Ministers at center can give unconstitutional advice. Then why are you giving this power to governor? Jealousy. Jata hogi si circle chota kar liya jaye. That means, okay, I have already told you. If the jealousy is becoming bigger in your circle, minimize your circle. So the conclusion is this advisory or this whole Supreme Court advisory broadens gubernatorial discretion, may strain center-state relation. So there has to be a clear timeline framed by legislature, not judiciary, because making law is the prerogative of legislature and not judiciary. So all these things will strengthen cooperative federalism. That's what is written here. Very good. Let's solve this question, guys. Do Chepandis. So MCQ1. Everything is fine, Chip. Oh, I hate myself sometimes. So I treat everyone like a kid. And then somebody told me, Sir, you are a kid. No, I'm not a kid. Which of the following commissions recommended narrow and limited discretionary power for governor under Article 200? We have discussed different commissions. And these are very, like, this is actually an awesome article, guys. Whenever any article talks about, discretionary power, this and that, and they talk about commissions, they are really good. They're awesome. So what is the answer here? చెప్పండి చెప్పదలుసు లేదు కాదు. So all these Sarkariya Punchi Vengatchali all. So C is the answer. Really, really, very good. MCQ2. In the context of gubernatorial power, which of the following statements is or are correct? And again, read all these statements very carefully and try to answer. So what we have discussed, read all the options. You can pause me right now. Governor is constitutionally required to act within. It is not written in constitution whether a timeline is there or not, and that's why presidential reference was invoked under Article 143. So third is wrong, right? Sorry, now you're left with one only, two only. Supreme Court has allowed judicial review. Yes, second is correct. So B, two only, even if you don't know one. And judicial review is not completely barred. So the answer is B, two only. Very good. Next article, guys, page number 6, editorial GS2. So missing Ubuntu. Ubuntu is not like operating system. If you are computer science guys, you will understand what I mean by Ubuntu and Linux and operating system. Ubuntu is an African philosophy actually, and it's like I will just show you something. So Ubuntu means I am because we are, and like our society is there, and that's why we are there. We are, again, how can understand I'm because we are. And this article is saying that they are not embracing this Ubuntu philosophy actually, because US is not there. US is boycotting this G20 summit. This G20 summit happening in Johannesburg, South Africa India series. India is losing all test matches on home grounds. I don't like Gautam Gambhir as a test coach. Gautam Gambhir is a good T20 and one day coach, guys. He should remain one day and T20 coach. Bring somebody, bring Lakshman as test coach. Or maybe Rahul Dravid. We want Rahul Dravid back, but he will not come. I have seen a trend. People who have gone, they don't come back. This is the trend which is true for people who have left a job at a particular setup. They don't go there again. So again, I don't know why. Maybe Rahul Dravid can come back, but Gigi sir, please go away from test. We don't need you as coach. You fill the test team with all rounders. You need specialists in testing, guys. So missing Ubuntu, US boycott. US has boycotted this G20 summit. Why? Because they are saying that this is funny. They are saying that South Africa is doing discrimination against white people. And this article is saying that this is such an irony because at one time South Africa was doing discrimination against black people. So boycott. Why US is boycotting this particular G20 summit? Because they are saying that alleged discrimination against white minority farmers by South Africa. And why this is an irony? Because one time South Africa was boycotting black people. So it's like they are taking a turn, sometime. And this is funny again. And then this article, we'll talk about what this article is talking about. First of all, let's talk about G20. G20, 1999. Before that, there was some financial crisis which happened. So to discuss policy matters, financial stability, there is no secretariat of this, guys, like G20. They just meet here, there, everyone. Now they have become G21. because African Union has been made, or it's a part of G20 now. So US, EU, and there's African Union as well. Very good. Have a look at this map, guys. You have to remember all these G20 countries. You have to mug it up. Love you, nai puriyadi poina. I love you, pranam poina. That means what I'm trying to say. Why this language may not be known to you. This is a language I have invented. That you have to remember these countries. UPSC has already asked questions on these G20 countries. Big countries are part of G20. Singapore, they are very well off, but they are not part of G20 because they're a small economy in totality. When you're talking about Argentina, South Korea, Turkey, have a look at this map. Look at it. Mark, you know, absorb it in your body. Oh my God. Okay, so 19 countries, EU plus African Union now. 1999, 85% of GDP, blah blah blah. You can read all these things, but the most important part is paste it on your wall in front of you and just look at it. Like I'm looking at you people. Okay, let's focus, guys. So, where is this G20 summit happening? First time it is happening in African continent. Anything first, we have discussed this. Your first love, your first crush, your first kiss is important. So, first time in African country, very important. African Union became the full G20 member. Where it happened, when it happened, during India's 2023 presidency, African Union became a G20 member. Really good. And now this is promoting Global South. And this whole G20 meeting happening in summit happening in Johannesburg, supporting or in a way promoting Global South. Again, Global South. But US not participating in it is undermining G20, guys, because US is not anything. US is a part of G2, right? US and China. So, and nobody's saying anything because you are a big power, so everybody's frightened and whatnot. I don't know. They should say. They are talking about all these things, comprehensive peace we want. Obviously, the international multilateral forum, we will talk about all these things. We are not very happy with whatever is happening in Congo, Palestine, blah, blah, blah. But they should have also talked about why US is not there. That's what this editorial is saying. Donald Trump, orange man, tariff man, many girls' heart throb, you know, because many girls likes his orange hair. He skipped the summit a little bit. You can see why they boycotted and why this is an irony. Concerned about US commitment to G20. This is a concern because they will host the presidency in 2026. If they are right now boycotting it, God knows what will happen tomorrow or in the future or in 2026. Is the future of G20 uncertain now? God knows. No strong criticism of US absence. We should, or these countries, they should have shown some spine and they should have criticized US decision according to this editorial. And if US is not there, it will undermine G20. We have talked about BBNJ, biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, high seas treaty. If you remember in previous Indo analysis, there also US is very reluctant. US is very reluctant in so many different things, and a pattern has been seen. If US is reluctant, generally that particular forum loses meaning after a certain period of time. So US has to be there. Call to embrace Ubuntu. The declaration is talking about African philosophy. I am because we are. So why are you not uniting and you are talking about why US is not there? Major powers must honor the spirit instead of sidelining the grouping. We should not sideline G20. We have already sidelined SARC and so many things. So UN is losing meaning. So yeah, have a look at this map, guys. Again, mug it up. Twist it on your wall and let's solve some questions now. MCQ 3. Chepandi cheputusu ledu kadu. Everything is fine. Yeah. Everything is awesome. MCQ 3. Try to, pause me right now. I'm all, anyway, shut up. So, yeah. What is the answer, guys? Shepandi is the answer. So, first G20 summit ever hosted by an African country, correct? African Union participated as a full member. Yeah, they became full member in 2023. They participated as full member. Correct. All these three are correct. So the answer is D 1, 2, and 3. Very good. MCQ 4. With reference to African Union and its role in G20, consider the following statement. African Union became a permanent member of G20 during India's, with AU's inclusion, G20 is officially G21. AU replaced European Union as regional grouping. What is the answer? Read all the options very minutely. G20 is very important. UPSC love it. Nahi puriya dipoina. Okay, so third is wrong, guys. So the answer is B 1 and 2. EU did not replace E. EU is living with EU. It's like I am marrying B. I'm also marrying C. It does not mean C will replace B. I will be living with two wives. So that is not a great analogy, but hope you're understanding. So the answer is B 1 and 2. Very good. PYQ 5 asked for UPSC in 2020, and that's why I was telling you that you look at that image. Love it. I love you, na ipuriya dipoi na. So now tell me, which of the countries are four countries member of G20? The answer is Argentina, Mexico, South Africa, and Turkey. Here, see whether Malaysia is a part of. Let's do this. This is a homework. You will do it. So in BCD, you will research out of BCD which country is not a member. Let's see whether Malaysia is a member of G20 or not. We have the map. So do we see Malaysia here? MMM, blah, 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 blah. So no, Malaysia is not a member, and you can see other. So B is discarded. Why is C discarded? This is called research. Brazil, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam. Let's see whether Vietnam is a member of G20 or not. Blah, 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 blah. So, what do we have this? Vietnam, right? We are just seeing the first letter. No, Vietnam is not a member. You can also think from this regard, you can do option elimination, like which is small country, small economy. Even though Singapore is very prosperous, but it's a small country, it's a city state, right? So, Vietnam, Singapore city state, it will not be there. So again, that's how you eliminate option, guys. Just discard the small economies. Answer is A. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word, Chipandis, and you can enroll for these courses. Mentorship will help you a lot. You will need some guidance, guys. What to do is fine. Not to do is very important. History through NCRT series will give you conceptual clarity. Because it includes PYQs, MCQs, PYQs, UPSC Mains PYQs. How do you have to read history? How UPSC frame questions? All these things. So mentorship, NCRT series, mains answer evaluation, doubt sessions, all these are very important. And everything is important, but these are actually important. And many people, they want doubt sessions, but I keep on telling you people, if you want doubt session, if you want to talk to me for, let's say, 30-45 minutes, have your doubts sorted out, in that scenario, never go for 499 per hour, always go for bundle will help you. You will understand what I'm saying. So yeah, so prices of this bundle as well as individual courses will increase from 1st December. I'm saying will, that means it will increase from 1st December. So enroll at the earliest. You can also donate if I'm helping you in any way. Next article, page number 6, editorial GS1, written by Justice N. Anand Venkatesh. He's a judge of Madras High Court. Very good boy. He is one of the best boys ever. So what he is saying, this is important from GS1 society perspective. Our society is divided. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I will have like there was one session where I did a live session that in a way made me hate that session, and I felt like I should not go live anymore. There were other reasons also, but yes, people are like, I hate this religion, I hate that religion. I'm like, what has happened to our society? Then I was having talk with 2-3 students of mine who are there in mentorship program, and they're like, we don't like this religion. And I'm like, oh my god, whatever I want to do, it's so tough. So Venkatesh sir is also talking about it has become a binary. Either you are pro-Hindu, pro-Muslim. I don't know what has happened to our society. The respectful dialogue has been eroded. And here there is a concept of Jainism, Anikantavad. This is important, guys. The concepts or the thoughts which are written here, it will help you in writing a good answer on GS Mains Paper 1 Society. Secularism, communalism is explicitly mentioned in your GS paper 1. Communalism, three basic ideology. One, that people of same religion, they have similar interests. Second, people of different religion have different interests. And third, people of different religion cannot coexist. This is the concept of communalism. And it is, many people are igniting that communal aspect of society. So Anikantavad says, and it's like either my way or highway these days. Talks are like that. I am correct or you are correct. No, man. Anikantavad says there are multiple truths. You can be correct at the same time. I can be correct at the same time. And they give you example, Jainism theory, that somebody is touching elephant's different parts. They will explain elephant or those parts in different ways, but it is actually elephant, right? So you are eating a mangoes, and the same mango is, your wife is also taking a bite of it. So you both are eating the same, ate the same mango, right? But your wife can say that mango is sweet, you can say that mango was yellow. So again, there can be multiple truths, guys. So in today's polarized environment, neutrality and balanced judgment is often mocked or dismissed. Like you people know me as the biggest supporter of Modi ji. No, it's not like biggest supporter this and that. I can be biggest supporter of Modi ji, but I can also be a supporter of Gandhi ji, means Rahul Gandhi ji and other people. So there is no binary as such. It's like you are a leftist or a rightist. This has happened now. I can be a nationalist, guys. I am worried about my nation and where it is going, and I'm a nationalist. I'm not a leftist or a rightist. Communities discourage dissent. You can, suppress dissent through ridicule rather than open debate. Ha ha ha, Rahul Gandhi, ha ha ha, Modi ji, false degree, fake degree. No, don't do that. You know, Don't do that. Misuse of neutrality. Some selectively apply neutrality, criticizing others while ignoring their own faults. Like one honorable guy said that hypocrisy ki bhi seema hoti. There's a limit to hypocrisy. Somebody says that don't give freebies. These freebies are wrong. Electricity, if you make electricity free in Delhi, AAP is wrong. And then just before an election, they will give 10,000 to women of a particular state. So that's why that very big Mahapurush, he was not only a Purush, he was a Mahapurush. He said that there is a limit to hypocrisy and we respect him. So yeah. So philosophical warning on polarization. You see, this whole article is so awesome, guys. This will not only help you in GS1 society, it will also help you in essay. It will also help you in your optional paper. In essay, you can quote these philosophers, what they're talking about. Our society is increasingly becoming polarized. Bolo Jai Shri Ram. If you will not say Jai Shri Ram, I will kill you all. So philosopher J. Garfield warns that polarization destroys civil discourse, which is essential for democracy. Need to restore genuine dialogue. This is an existential threat to democracy. This whole thing, binary thing and dissent, suppression of dissent by putting people under UAP or other preventive detention law. This is a threat to democracy. We are moving towards a dictatorship. And now this is your homework. Find out what is India's rank in Press Freedom Index. And our media, which was so active before 2014, what has happened to our media right now? Impact on governance structure, judicial independence is question. We have discussed this some days back. We have discussed judiciary was attorney general was saying we can discard your views, judiciary's views on certain things. We have talked about the independence of tribunals when we were talking about the killing of RTI or the death of RTI in India. Yesterday only we discussed African grey parrots, RTI saying that we don't have any information. This is the general rule in RTI now. They don't have any information related to anything or most of the thing. And most of the seats are vacant. Information commissioner seats, most of them in states and centers, they are vacant. So yeah, so that's what will happen. That is why this is an effort by different entities to create polarization, to create a threat to democracy. Effects on individuals, increasing stress, anxiety, and political hostility, fragmentation. We are divided, so much divided. Workplace experience conflict and discrimination. I have seen it in different places. It has happened. Okay. Social media intensifies, you can read all these things, rise in hate crimes and violence. And these are the consequences of increasing polarization. And we can be neutral. You don't have to label me as a leftist or a rightist. And, I can be a nationalist. I'm worried about my country and where it is going. And that's what this sir is also talking about. And we have to believe in the philosophy of Anikantavad of Jainism. We have to follow the middle path of Buddhism, Ashtangika Mal, Visa Lane. Follow a middle path, right? Don't be extremist. Don't be blinded by your religious affiliation. Don't do that. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right meditation, or right concentration. So let's solve some question. PYQ 6 UPSC 2009. Japanese guys, Buddhism and Jainism, UPSC love it. Na ipuriya dipoy na. So PYQ 6 UPSC 2009. What is the answer? Kadale, kadale, kadukudu re, kadale, kadale, kadikudu. I don't know the full song, guys, so please don't laugh at me. So Anikantavad is a core theory of Jainism. Very good theory of multiple realities with reference to Anikantavad. And again, this article is in a way propounding Anikantavad. There is no binary. Everyone can be correct at the same time. So what is the answer, guys, of this question? Chepandis fast. Chepandis, chipu chipu chipu. I'm just taking a pause, guys, because I speak breathless like Sankar Mahadevan. Anikantavad, core philosophical doctrine of Jainism, yes, states that reality can be fully, no, there's no single absolute standpoint. Everybody is correct in their own way. It's not like I am so full of Anikantavad. Sometimes I and my sister, they fight because I feel like, somebody is more dictatorial. She feels like she's working and she's, living in Kolkata and she's like, her CM is more dictatorial. So I have to also practice what I preach. Sometimes I also become very rigid. So this is wrong. Second is wrong. If you eliminate second, you'll get the answer. So B is the answer. 1 and 3. It encourages tolerance and acceptance and multiple viewpoints. We need it. We need it more than ever in today's India. Page number 12, GS1, Geography. Highly Gubbi volcano. My Ethiopian friends will be giving UPSC next year. Pardon me for the pronunciation part if I'm pronouncing it wrong. So Haile Gubbi volcano, it is there in this Ethiopian region. It is located on East African Rift. It is located on divergent plate boundaries, guys. Divergent plate boundary means African plate, and then there is Nubian plate and Somali plates. They are moving away from each other. Going away. Come closer, closer. No, not closer. They're going away. So it's a divergent plate boundary. This volcano has erupted after 10,000 years or something. Do check that fact. Not important. What is important is because of this eruption, you see this, see what has happened. The ashes, etc. They are rising and they are going to different region, Yemen, Oman, and again you can see from this side they're coming to India. Oh my God! And it can impact our plains, etc. So what is important here? Haile Gubbi volcano, where is it, in which country? It is located on which rift, which kind of boundary it is, divergent or convergent boundary. So you see a lot of geographical terms involved here. Oh my God. So ashes from ash reminds me of Ravi Chandran Ashwin. You people don't know him. He's a spinner from our times, my time. Ash. So from Ethiopia's highly Gubi volcano eruption on Sunday is drifting towards mainland India, because of which aviation sector is facing, like, they are worried right now. And because they have glass-like particles, these ashes which can melt inside engines, they can pose severe flight safety risk and blah blah blah. You can see this. So if you are traveling to London, etc., guys, don't go there. Airport instructions, and you see ash movement. Ravichandran Ashwin is moving from Yemen, Oman to India. It will go to Uttar Pradesh. Blah, 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 blah. Again, not that important. I have told you the facts which are important. Let's solve some questions now. With reference to highly gooby. Consider the following statement. So there is my sister's kid whom I love so much. On my WhatsApp, I have his profile pic with me. So the way I treat that kid, the same way I treat my students. Ha ha ha. So what is the answer, guys? It is located in Ethiopia within the East African Rift System. The region around the volcano is tectonically active due to divergence of African plate into Nubian and Somali plate. Both the statements are correct. The East African Rift System, it is located, and here African plate is moving away from Nubian and Somali. Maybe they are angry now. Maybe their friendship has broken, and that's why African plate is moving away from Nubian and Somali plates. Very good. So the answer is C, both. East African Rift, where highly Gubbi volcano is located, is an example of which boundary I have told you. So don't do chipandis here. That means don't make mistake here. B, divergent plate boundary. Really, really, very good. Page number 12, GS3. Navy gets silent hunter. That is Mahi. Mahi maar raha hai. So that is Mahi. Mahi maar raha hai means Mahi is hitting here. But it's a different thing altogether. I have seen many innings of MS Dhoni where he is played so slow that we lost. Again, it's a controversial opinion, guys. Don't kill me for it. But again, Anikantavad, you can agree to disagree with my opinion. Let's not fight over it. So based on MS Dhoni, to pay homage to MS Dhoni, Navy has, or we have our first Mahi class anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft. Focus on the words, guys. UPSC has asked INS Astradharani is what. Earlier we have discussed INS Udaygiri, INS Tamal, revise that. So they can ask you what are these. So INS Mahi, it is anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft. What is the basic meaning here? They will detect enemy submarines in low depth water. That is anti-submarine warfare, shallow watercraft. This is promoting MS Dhoni's ideology. No, this is promoting Modi sir's ideology of Make in India, because it is 80% indigenous. Oh my God. And that's why Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi, he's so happy like a baby. He's saying that Army, Navy, and Air Force from like you read this, whatever he's saying. The thing which is important is INS Mahe. What is INS Mahe? Has it something to do with Mahendra Singh Dhoni Mahi? No, it is Mahi class anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft. Shallow watercraft means shallow water means low depth water. It cannot detect submarines or enemy submarines within very high depth water, or the water which has high depth. It is shallow watercraft. So it will detect, and this means enemy submarines in shallow waters, low depth water. Remember this, 80% indigenous, and we are very happy about it. Moto is silent hunters. They will kill them silently, kill these enemy submarines silently, slowly, silently. I'm pausing. So again, read all these things. It is very capable. What is important? This article is important from pre-perspective. And what is the importance? What is INS Mahe? Now, when you're reading INS Mahe, revise. This is your homework. INS Udaygiri, which we have discussed previously. INS Tamal, which we have discussed previously. I think solve a UPSC PYQ on INS Astradharani. These are, so when you solve PYQs, you realize, oh my God, they're so important. Just like a wow. Let's solve this. Which of the following best describes the strategic relevance of ASW shallow watercraft? What is the basic rationale of ASW shallow watercraft? Try to solve this question, guys. This will be a homework for you, I think so. Let me check. Yes, this is a homework for you. Really good. So, if you know the answer, you can post it in the comment section, else we'll discuss it tomorrow. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word, guys. Make me popular. This is my Telegram channel. I will share this into analysis PDF by today evening. Obviously, I will not share it after 2 days evening. So yeah, today evening you will get this Hindu analysis PDF that will help in your revision. Very good. You can also post your score if you want to. You can join these courses. I've already told you the importance and relevance of it. You will need me, and because I'm awesome, I know it. You also have to say these 5 things every day. I am the best. I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I'm a winner. So again, any courses you want to join, you can join it. Join at the earliest, because lifetime success bundle individual courses prices will increase from 1st December. You are your own competition. You don't have to compete with anybody else. You just have to become a better version of yours, as you better than the previous version what you were yesterday. If I'm adding it to your knowledge base, rather, you can also donate. And that's it from me. Thank you. Take care. Be blessed. Tata. Bye bye. If you have any queries, any doubts, anything you want to say, you can say it in the comment section as well. Very good. So I'm going now. Bye bye.